Hey everybody, Carl with Tactical for Practical, and we're going to discuss a knife here. It's the Delica 4 FFG. If you couldn't, maybe I try to camouflage it in there for you, but sometimes, it just stands out. So basically what I consider this knife for is an EDC knife. This is almost purely an EDC knife, and by EDC I mean everyday carry, or something you're going to use for everyday tasks, cutting open packages, envelopes, just maybe slicing an apple or two, but typically that's what you're going to be using it for, opening things. And this is a blade that really excels at it, and I really like the new colorations and the flat ground blade. We'll get into that. So like I said, use primary is going to be an EDC knife. Secondary, I would say a tactical blade. And the reason I say that is I believe personally that any blade can be used in a situation, as long as it's somewhat sharp, to defend your life. Even something as small as a ladybug or something like this standard MU. I think it's a 605. Yeah, it's a 605. So I think knives like these, they can still be used in self-defense. Maybe not as well as something like this or something like a big Benchmade or something along those lines, but I believe they can be used in self-defense. So let's take a look at the specs of the knife, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. I believe I saved the page here. Not so much for there it is. Used a pick to save it. So let's see here. Looks like they've designated this blue as the police model now, so they actually inscribe a little law enforcement logo there. But here's the knife, and let's take a look at some of the specs here. We have overall length from tip to end is 7.13 inches. The blade length is 2.88 inches. And that's, I think, a really good length because, as you can see here, this Benchmade Griptilian, this is a 3.5 inch, or close to 3.5 inch blade length. And this scares some people because it's such a big, to me personally it's not a big blade, but to them they believe it's a big blade. So you're going to be able to use a smaller blade like this without hesitation and without remarks from people a lot more than something like the Benchmade. So blade length I think is very good, and it's very sharp. The edge is actually 2.56, so just a little over 2.5 inches of cutting surface. So you're using they got a bit of a guard here, which I like, so you can almost choke up. I'd be careful, but you can choke up on it. And it's a really nice cutting surface. The full flat ground, as everyone knows, usually cuts extremely well. Not anything against grinds like the saber grind or anything like that, but the full flat grind seems to cut better in most situations. That's why you see a lot of kitchen cutlery in the full flat grind. The closed length is 4.25 inches, so 4.25 inches. And then for you European guys, it's 108 millimeters. Not a European guy, I'm in America, so we use the stupid inch system. But as you can see here, pretty compact. I have pretty large hands, and that fits pretty well in my hand. Let's see here, in weight we have 2.3 ounces, so it's a very, very light blade. And I think somewhat has to do with it has steel liners in there, as you guys can see right there. I personally like steel liners in my knives, even though they do increase weight. But the FRN on here makes it lightweight. It's not G10 or FRN. It's got this bi-directional texturing, which, as you can see here, you push, it resists going up and it resists going back on the knife. It's got it on both sides. Great design by Spyderco on there. The locking mechanism is a Boy lockback design, and he's known for this dent right here, so you can quickly find it. And the lockback, as you can see, it locks on the back of the spine. Strength of this blade, I don't know if you're going to be able to, baton with it. I really don't think you're going to be able to baton with it. But I did chop down a tree branch with this just to test it out, and it was about that big, about the size of a quarter. And it did work well. It took a little bit of time. I did the V method, and it worked well. And the edge still really sharp. It did not affect the edge retention whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure that has to do with the VG10 steel. So let's talk about the steel. The steel is made in Seki City, Japan, and it's known for a high carbon content, I believe. I could be making that up. Just checking the back. VG10. It's got relatively low carbon. Not relatively low, but average carbon. But it is a great steel. And it's a lot of people's favorite steels. It takes a really nice polish, really nice edge, and holds it for a while. So that's a great feature about that blade. The blade shape is kind of a leaf point, spear point leaf, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. It's very acute, and it's got a really nice tip on it. It's really good for pierce cuts. As you can see, it just goes in, barely pushing on that, and it just goes right in. Really sharp knife. Great knife, though. I really like it. I wasn't too much into these whole FRN Delicas and Enduras and Ladybugs. I've mostly been a G10 guy, but everyone's got these blades, and I figured, what the hell, I'll pick one up and try it. The speed of the knife, it's kind of... The thing about this knife is, and this is with a lot of them that I've picked up and used and held, it is really hard to actually flick this knife open. And I've loosened it up, and you get some lock-up issues with that. It becomes really loose, and you get a lot of blade play. So the speed, my particular version, you're going to have to open it with your thumb. You can't really flick it open. That being said, the lockup is amazing, no side to side or up and down. I'm pretty much sure that has to do with how good this FRN substance is, and I'm pretty sure that steel liners have to help with that. Like I said, handle material is FRN, and it feels really good in the hand. It's very comfortable to use. The jimping on this thumb ramp really locks your thumb in there, and it locks your hand in there as well. Great for just, maybe whittling or any kind of cutting tasks. And you can choke up if you want, but be careful out there. And you can see some scratches here on the blade by accident. Oh well. Shows use, I think. Clip design, great. Just a standard pocket clip from Spyderco. Here's a Tenacious to show you. I know they're different countries of origin, but it's standard. Spyderco pocket clip, and it does the job. Carries right about here. A little bit of blue sticking out of your pants, but it's okay. It looks aesthetically pleasing to me personally. I believe the durability of this knife is good. You obviously can't hard use this. This is not a hard use folder. You can do basic tasks, maybe a little bit more extreme tasks, like cutting a lot of cardboard boxes and such. You're going to dull the knife, but I believe this is pretty much just a general use EDC knife, and if you're going to be using it for that, then you should be okay. Like I said, don't hard use it. It's not built for that. It's more of a delicate task type of knife. If you want something, really strong, go buy yourself a fixed knife. This is not the way of the fixed knife type material. That's pretty much it that I've got. I went through all my talking points, and if you guys liked the review, please like and subscribe. This is the Delica 4 in the blue. If you like it, try and find one, pick one up. They run you about, say, $50 on average. I think I bought this one for $40 only because it had the scratch blade and they don't know how it got on there. So, you know what? I don't mind that. I'll use it. Anyways, thanks for watching, and hope you have a nice day.